Okay, all right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wait, make sure this light is on. This is kind of poor lighting, but let me try to get it the best I can. I'm get ready to go live here. I'll be on with Sir Charles in a second here. So I got this bright light, but let me move that a little closer here. Hope it doesn't fall on me. Ooh. But I want to do this piece just before I go live with Sir Charles, where I'll be speaking on April the 29th. And I wanted to uh, very quickly just distinguish between individuals that vend and individuals that the difference between sponsoring an event and speaking. So I just got a request. I just got a request to sponsor an event again. And at this particular time, sometimes, when you realize that you have been, a star, you've been supportive. I found that sometimes people take uh, it for granted, when you kind of, are humble and you kind of come up under different individuals and you don't necessarily ask for anything. You kind of just being the nice little supportive brother. And I've done that for years, showing up, trying to support different events because I've always certainly added something to every event. Sold hundreds of books to many different individuals over the years, and I believe sincerely that people have gotten more out of me and my work and how I've been able to organize the unique knowledge that I personally have researched in the business conferences and the holistic health and the various empowerment conferences that I've gone to. I think that people have gotten more out of me than they've got actually out of many of the speakers. And so yeah, when an individual, like I'll just make it plain, a sister, she asked me, won't I do something? I guess pay for some project or speaking thing or whatever. Uh, and I'm like, you know, I don't necessarily need to do this kind of thing anymore. I don't, I've put in the work, and honestly, many of these people at these different events, they need to be listening to me. They need to be paying me money to speak. I don't, I shouldn't have to, uh, show up and pay to speak at certain events. And I'm not suggesting that it's like that everywhere. I realize I've made a choice. I went down this entrepreneurial path. I could have done some other things and tried to play it safe. But I've invested a lot into diversifying my knowledge, and having this well-roundedness about myself. What I know tangibly is going to pay off. Absolutely, I know tangibly that eventually more and more individuals are certainly going to have to wake up. I mean, I've made sure that I've connected the dots and planted the right stages, but I don't. I mean, when you've done something, a particular area of skill or in a particular area for enough time, gotten awards and talked to the right people, supported the right people over the years, you don't you don't keep showing up as some regular attendee, still sitting in the pews, still sitting in the back row, looking like you just some little rookie. I mean, later for that. And sometimes, it's really sad. I see old men, all beat down, you know, uh, not evolving, not growing, and they're actually uh, truly haven't reached a particular stage of evolution where they can, kind of sift and sort through different types of knowledge. And so sometimes you have people showing up years and years and years, and they're not growing, and they can't decipher in their own mind, like, okay, uh, you know, am I going to buy a real asset sometime in my life, or am I going to, keep showing up and giving people my money that don't know what the hell to do with my money? So I just mention all this because, I mean, like, look, I've had a really, powerful year, uh, but I've seen some people that desire to ignore it, but it's like you really can't ignore. You absolutely cannot ignore the unprecedented work that has been done. It's just unless you've been in a bubble, or you're a slave. I'm just gonna make it plain. But what I'm gonna do, just because some folk are a little bit slow, we drinking whatever, eating whatever, not having a clear thought, not thinking, not paying attention to what, who's doing the real work. The relevant work, shall I say, the more practical work and the scholastic work. I know some people may not necessarily understand. So I'm gonna raise some bars a little bit more, in some different areas. But um, you know, but I realized that ignorance travels in packs, unfortunately. And so I realized that, I'm bringing such a unique understandings to certain issues that, most people, they're not even going to be able to catch it. So it's easy to stay on a plantation, to stay in mental bondage and mental slavery, than to, listen to what this brother is doing, or what he's talking about, what he's thinking. So I realized that, unfortunately, many people are running away and they don't know where to go. So they create this dependent identity, a dependent identity in this society where they can't move strategically, and they cover it up with petty materialism. Yes, it can be very petty in a bigger scheme of global wealth and history and ownership and assets and power relations. And um, so I'm just saying that, you know I don't. I mean, I really, in terms of vending or sponsoring different events, or it's like, look, I mean, for real, I mean, it's only a few places that I would be willing to go. I mean, I've spoke at many different events, and I don't need to speak everywhere because most of the people won't even, understand what I'm saying anyway. So I'm not gonna keep on, trying to put messages out there. Or, oh, I need to come up in here and speak. Like, for real, I mean, I'm just feeling really like that I'm gonna make moves regardless. I have the A, B, and C options on point, and more than likely, individuals are definitely gonna, and some people, there's definitely some people that feel and appreciate what I'm doing. So I'm not, talking about everybody ignorant, but I'd say that a large percentage, even people who consider themselves conscious, they out here, and I mean, just really, closed-minded, Baltimore, DC. I mean, I'm mostly, since these are the areas that I'm tend to operate out of. Um, you know, just folks don't have any real solutions, to our community. And it's time for individuals to recognize those that have more practical knowledge and solutions for our community. So that's what I'm building on. Who's this? That's what I'm building on. That's what moves are being made. So again, I'm not necessarily just interested in sitting around being a regular hustle man. Did that long enough. I actually read the books, read the right books, got the knowledge, the right knowledge, and the relevant, practical knowledge out into hundreds and yes, thousands over the years. I financed it, and what happens? Some folk would rather silly, different organizations would rather have got an alphabet behind their name because they went to some school to get miseducated. So that's the enslaved mentality that many individuals are promoting and teaching you that this is the way we have to go. No, I'm saying that I've studied not just, I'm not coming from some under education or miseducation or poverty mentality. I'm telling you that, I've studied the right people and, have a better analysis. And it's about time that, individuals begin to wake up from the slave mentality and stop asking me silly questions like can I vend or can I sponsor something or like really? And you got who speaking? Really? You got who speaking? Not the success scholar, not Honorable Haki Ami? Really? What's wrong with you? So I mean I'm just waking up to really I mean the time to be tolerant and acceptance of miseducation, of ignorance and just insanity that many of our people have in terms of growth and development and freedom. It's over. I don't give a damn how much money, so-called money, these people have, perpetrating, or how many alphabets around their name perpetrating, getting a PhD, you still eat McDonald's food, or I mean, just just some, many of us like Baba Kibone break down how the black tricks. Many people are in control in different many areas of life, and so I'm saying, I don't want to appear like I'm angry or hostile or negative. Some people would speculate, or suggest, but it's just, it's time, absolutely, without question, in my mind. So if I come on here and say something, it's because it's real. What's real is real. I've definitely put in the work and enlightened tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people over the years, and I know that. I've been humbled. That's the humbleness, the fact that I try to assist other people. But now, it's like no, I'm not. I'm not doing those second fiddles. No, these people, that none of them have put in the work like me. They haven't studied the right books. They're not connecting and giving out people some of the more relevant knowledge that's out there, the most updated contemporary knowledge that's going to keep them alive and free. So that's where I'm at with this. So that's all I have about to get on this other call. So holler at the Success Scholar. I'm out.